or two about the current political landscape, because again, quoting John Howard last night on Four Corners on the profile on Tony Abbott, he said that Tony Abbott, the arrival of Tony Abbott to the Liberal leadership has altered the political landscape. Has Tony Abbott done that in your view?
Oh, well, what he did, he's consolidated the right wing. That's what he's done. All the nutters are behind him. But will he get the middle ground? I don't think so. I mean, look at the stuff on the economy. I mean, it's shocking, really. I mean, you've got, Jockey Peterson Jr. running around. What's his name? The senator from Queensland.
I think you're talking about Senator Joyce.
Joyce, yeah. He's running around making economic pronouncements which, are foolish in the extreme. Imagine this mob. Like, you wouldn't trust this mob with a jam jar full of 5-cent bits.
Why is the electorate going off the Rudd government, though? What, in your view, is the Rudd government not doing enough?
No, fashion.
All talk, no action is the crime.
Let's be clear about this. The government did a miraculous job in saving the Australian economy from the deepest recession that has come along since the Depression. The one country out of the 26 member states of the OECD that had no negative growth. I mean, the Rudd government should be re-elected on that basis alone. Getting that right was just, if they did not any other one thing in this parliament but saving us from the massive crunch which is happening in Britain and the United States now, and in Germany and France and places like Greece, to save us from that kind of holocaust, which was economic holocaust, they deserve re-election. But I think the point is this: the emergency is over now. And the Prime Minister understands this, and this is why he's on things like health. He's trying to deal with these long-term structural issues. I mean, they're hard to do. I mean, health is a very tough thing to do.
Well, you've been in political tight places before. How do you see the upcoming election? Tony Abbott's told his troops they can win.
Oh, look, I mean, if Tony Abbott ends up the Prime Minister of Australia, I mean, you've got to say, God help us. God help us, an intellectual, truly an intellectual nobody, and no policy ambition. I mean, is that all there is? You know the song, is that all there is? I mean, is that where we'd be, really?
Paul,
I used to, look, he turned up in the last couple of years when I was Prime Minister. I regard him as a sort of resident nutter on their side, Now, where is the thought-out position? I mean, a Conservative Party can have a thought-out position. I mean, I saw this program last night with Malcolm Turnbull. I mean, the difference is Turnbull had an articulated, intelligent, moderate, thought-out Conservative position. The fact is that Abbott does not have this.
Can I just get your opinion on something that's in the news the last day or two? Tony Abbott suggesting that the traditional welcome to country, or the acknowledgement of traditional owners, is paternalistic, too often done. Wilson Tuckey's described it as a farce. Yeah. Just wonder if you have a view on that, given your role, and obviously in introducing the Mabo legislation.
Well, we have a chance as a society in this part of the world to turn over a new leaf. We've got to stop borrowing the monarch of another country, the Queen, which Mr Abbott makes clear he's still interested in keeping. We'll soon have King Charles and Camilla at some point down the road, as absurd as that is. But here we are, an immigrant country, but by the way, we're not big enough to acknowledge the fact that we did the dispossessing. As I said in the Redfern speech, we did the murders. We brought the alcohol and the diseases. We did these things. And goodness of heart is something, and honesty is something that is a core requirement on a good country. Truth is a necessary ingredient in a society with its head in the air. If you want to go around telling lies all your life, historical lies like Abbott does, fine. But haven't we moved past that? I mean, do we want really little John Howard? It was bad enough having the real John Howard, with all of that pre-Copernican obscurantism he had. But we want just another little John Howard? At least Howard was a militant, aggressive, conservative, driving in reverse through the rearview mirror. Do we want the poor man's Howard?
Paul Keating, thank you very much for joining us on Breakfast.
Thank you.
Former Labor Prime Minister Paul Keating. It's 8:25 on RM Breakfast.